Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be playing Paladins. This is episode 2 of A Casual Player's Perspective. In this series, we are going to go down in a list of Paladins heroes, talk about each and every one of them.
The battle is about to begin.
Thank you. Talk about each and every one of them and talk about what a casual player, aka me, thinks about the heroes. This is extremely opinionated by nature. All opinions are just that, and I'm not really going to be talking about whether I think the heroes are going to be necessarily strong as much as just how fun they'll be. So in the last video I said that I was going to go by the release date of the heroes in reverse order, but I've changed my mind on that. I'm going to go based on alphabetical order, which means that the first hero we're going to take a look at after 7 is Androxus. We're going to start here and we're going to go down the list, and basically whenever a new hero is added we will go to them. But until a new hero is added, we're going to start with Androxus, and we're going to go down the list in the order that they are currently listed. I'm hoping to do this series about once a week. Not once a week. Once every couple of weeks. So maybe twice a month. Intertwined with my Minecraft series that I'm going to do every other week as well. So every other week, Paladins. Every other week, Minecraft. Let's start then with these traits. So, the Cursed Revolver. We're going to see what his Revolver does by default in a moment. We will start with Cursed Revolver, though. The Revolver becomes automatic, dealing 600 damage every half second. So, basically what happens there, as opposed to the regular Revolver, I was looking at this earlier, the regular Revolver is not automatic, but it has a higher fire rate. So that this removes the higher fire rate. It gets a little bit of a slower fire rate, but it is completely automatic, which means that you don't have to constantly hit every bullet, hit left click to fire every bullet. Godslayer, Reversal, which is one of his abilities we'll talk about later, fires back and does an additional 800 damage. It always fires back and does an additional 800 damage. We'll talk about that ability in a moment. Defiant Fist. Successful hits with your revolver increase the damage of your next Defiance by 15%, stacking up to 100%. Again, we'll talk about that ability in a minute, but I believe Defiance is the punch ability that he has, but again, we'll talk about it in a minute. Let's start with Cursed Revolver, and we'll go check out the other ones in a moment. I'm not going to talk any about these traits, and the reason I'm not going to talk about these traits like I didn't last time is because the traits system is extremely complicated. It's a really cool system, but for a casual player, I just usually go with the one that is associated with the Loadout trait. I don't know what the names for these are. I'm calling them both traits, but the basic main trait. And here we go. My skin is different. If you play Androxus yourself, you will have a slightly different color scheme. That is all. So let's start. Look at his abilities. His first ability is Revolver. It is a 6-shot semi-automatic that deals 520 damage every 0.36 seconds. That's actually not true for this first trait. Instead, crap, I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to remember what the trait is. Deals 600 damage every 0.5 seconds and is automatic. So what that essentially means is we just have to hold down left click. It will fire every single shot on its own, as opposed to having to click every single shot, which is definitely simpler. But we'll talk about, I'll show you the difference in a moment. Defiance, his right click ability, is just a punch. It's on a 1-second cooldown. It deals enough damage to where I feel like it's interesting, but it doesn't do loads. And I believe this ability is probably why Paladins doesn't actually have any sort of melee ability, because where would Androxus's right click go? What would that become? But anyway, moving on. I accidentally used this next ability like just a second ago, and that is Nether Step. We're going to skip over Reversal because I'm going to talk about that over there. Nether Step is basically a Omnidirectional Dash. He has 3 charges of it before it goes on cooldown, and it doesn't matter how many of those charges you use, it will always go on cooldown after that 9 seconds. So you can use one charge and stop there, but you will still have the cooldown go off. So you have that little grace period. I'll show that to you in a second again. You have that little grace period where you can use the ability again, but if you let that grace period go down, then you will lose the ability to cast that again, and it will go on cooldown. Another part of that is, which is really a passive, is that you have a slow fall. It also seems like the slow fall gives him regeneration. Is this part of that ability? I don't know. It doesn't say it is, but it does give you regeneration. And the next ability, Reversal. This is actually a really cool ability. So we go in front of the fray and pull out our bullets, and you notice she actually took a little bit of damage there. I just feel like killing her. So if we go in here, it did deal damage to her, and I don't know, I think that's really cool. I really like that personally. Yeah, any ability that allows you to counter your opponents, I personally always like those. So we're going to turn the Cassie bot off, and then we'll show the ultimate. Now the ultimate's really interesting. He has 3 shots of his weapon, and I believe each of them do the 1000 damage. So let's go into here. What happens here, he goes like that. He has the ability to kind of fly. It's a little odd. We'll show that again, but he has this like weird ability to fly. I'm not exactly sure like if the way that that works is in like I'm not sure if he's supposed to fly faster than that, but my gut instinct is telling me no. Actually, we're gonna go over here to show off the ultimate. This is my favorite place to go to show off ultimates. But he flies into the air. He doesn't really fly into the air, but he can go into the air, and he stays where he is. And he has 3 shots of these projectiles that deal a decent amount of damage. Like I said, 1000 damage. And he oh, does that redo my ultimate? Cool. I like it. Anyway, I'm gonna go up here. I'm going to go up here. So 4 shots before it goes on cooldown, it looks like, but that could be just me misinterpreting things. But that's what it seems like, at least. The ability, honestly, I could see a lot of uses for this. I like that it's a precision ability. I like that you actually have to select, like you have to aim it yourself. It's not like something, I guess it is similar to Pharah's Rocket Barrage, but you have to aim each individual shot as opposed to shot, as opposed to aiming just the initial hit. And,
triple kill.
You know, the barrage as a whole,
11 in
if
a
that
row.
makes sense. But I do really like the ability. I think it's really cool. Honestly, all of his abilities are really fun. I could see this character. This character feels like a combination of Reaper and Pharah from Overwatch. I know a lot of people compare the 2 games. I don't think that they're that similar other than the core gameplay loop. But I think that there are similarities, and I think that it's important to point those out because it's important for people who play one game to be able to go into the other one knowing what the differences are. But as far as the character design, that's the biggest thing I can compare the 2 games with is Pharah and Reaper against Androxus. Let's talk then about the loadout. So the default loadout we had was Cursed Revolver. Revolver shots become automatic, dealing 600 damage every half second. I'm going to go away from that one. We're going to go to God Slayer, but we're going to go to God Slayer, and we're going to show what this looks like without Cursed Revolver. So that's the first thing I want to do. Number 1, if I click and hold down, you notice that it only fires the shot that I clicked with. So I have to fire every shot, but I have more. I have not more shots, but I can shoot faster,
Triple kill.
which I like. I also noticed that when I fire shots with them, that there's this little poison cloud. I don't know if that's like part of the ability or if that's me being retarded about the game mechanics, but it could be either one, honestly. I don't see anything that says that any of his abilities have DOTs. So I'm kind of assuming it's just a different mechanic, because I saw it on a different hero. But if you guys know, let me know, because I'm really new with this game. Now let's talk about this ability, Reversal. With this loadout, Reversal always fires back and does an additional 800 damage. So if we hit our... There you go. You just saw right there. It did indeed fire, even though we did not get it to fire. Or we didn't get any bullets. So it shouldn't have fired there.
Killing spree.
Well, let's go into her range. And you can see that dealt a lot of damage, actually. I'm kind of surprised. Even seeing the numbers, I'm actually a little surprised at how much damage that dealt.
Weakened.
So we're gonna here, and that dealt a huge amount of damage to her. One more shot finished her off, and I hadn't hit her. Other than that, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I genuinely don't know. But yeah, so that's the reversal trait. The final trait is Defiant Fist. Successful hits with your revolver increase the damage of your next Defiant up to 100%. So it can up to double your the damage of your fist. So to test this, we're gonna go to our friends over here. We're going to shoot them until we we'll start out with this. We're gonna shoot him once, and then we're going to right click. Oh wait, shoot and right click. So I'm not seeing where the Defiant Fist trait.
Double kill. Triple kill.
I'm not seeing where it's showing. If there is any sort of indicator, then I'm missing it, because I don't actually see. I'm not actually seeing. I guess what we should do is we should punch him without it. Wait, punch it. Did that deal any damage? Okay, there we go. So I dealt like 2 bars worth of damage. Then if I shoot him and let him come back up, then we should see my fist deal much more damage than just 2 bars. Unless there's like some sort of weird cooldown. So it did. And that was the full doubled damage. So it does work, it just, there's no indicator for it. I wish there was an indicator for it, but honestly, it is a good trait. But I don't think it's one that you're going to really notice, other than, like, you're going to feel it when you use it, but I don't think there's any visual way for you to notice how much damage your fist is going to do. I wish that there was something with maybe his hand that showed that. Is there something with the punch itself? The punch itself always has that green smoke. But, so maybe the smoke is a little bit bigger. I can't tell you. But this ultimately comes to the climax of the video. What are my thoughts? Well, number one, I love the visual design of this character. Honestly, one of my favorite character designs in the entire game. I love so much about this character. I don't know what I'm doing. I really like the character's design. I'm trying to go to my emotes, which I've already forgotten what I rebound my emote to. Okay, B. I really like the emotion, not that. I really like the visual aesthetic of this hero. The color palette by default is a more green color palette, but I actually really like this color palette better. Teal is my favorite color. I really like the look of the character. I really like the horns. I like pretty much everything about this character. I like the playstyle. I feel like he's going to be a very in the background, like, kind of chaotic character. And I like the ability of him to kind of fly around. I think that his weapon is really nice. It's as with most of the guns in this game, most of the weapons in this game, it feels really good to use. I think it feels better with the trait, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. I like this character a lot, and honestly, he's probably one of my favorite characters. Now, I don't know exactly what my playtime is on this character. It's probably pretty low because I like most of the characters in this game quite a lot. And I do have favorites, but he is one of my favorite characters, even if I play, like, Theris way more. My only gripe with this character, which isn't a gripe with this character, it's just a gripe with non-healer characters in general. I really like a character that can heal and do damage. I can help the team in more than just one way because I personally don't feel like my damage output is strong enough to be my main benefit to the team. So I'd rather have something to lean back on because my aim isn't the best, my damage isn't usually the highest. I play healers in pretty much any game that I play, so I prefer the healer playstyle of being able to support my team through direct damage, through buffs, and also through healing. But again, that's not a gripe with the character, that's just a gripe with damage characters in general. But with all of that being said, I love this character a lot. And I can see this character being a lot of people's mains, and I can almost imagine him. I don't exactly know who the poster child is for this game because I don't play this game enough to really know, but I could see this guy being the poster child. I think the poster child right now is whoever the newest hero is at any given point, but I could see them doing an entire like event line off of this character. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know what your favorite character is, and let me know what you guys think of Androxus. In the next episode, we will be taking a casual player look at Ashe. But for now, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like I said, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy. And I will talk to you guys next time.